Right, let's check a few things. Let's get everything ready. Live chat on. Super chat on. Live chat. Right. Bold Britisher. I love you. You're the first one. This should be a good one. Always good to hear. Thanks, brother. War's coming. Clive King, Red 92. 90 people in the chat already. Yeah, a bit early. Joe Gould. Good to see you in here. Awesome. Steve. Hi. Long John. Max Power. Yes. Oh my days. Hey, you made it. I thought you was watching the ruggers. I suppose you can do both, can you? You got a TV and you got a phone, maybe. I don't know. Maybe the rugby's rubbish. I don't know. Don't shoot me, Jack. It's got my hot lava java coffee. Hell. Wicked. Good to see everybody in the chat. It's been a while. Hey, deep in the bunker in the house. Colette, hi. Prometheus Pockets. Yo, dude. Steve Wales. All right, son. Hey, guess what? We got like biscuits browning, son. Oh, I thought of you straight away. Alan Coleman, hi. Carlos. Hello, brother. Good to see you in here. I hope you get your problem phoned about sorted. Yeah, it's all looking good. We're looking good. Survivalist Dad 101. Hey. Awake. Good to see you. Right, I can be here for ages. We've already got 226 people. Sorry I can't say hello to everyone. Let's just whiz forward to the latest one. The old man. Hello, old man. How you doing? Right. First of all, before I start talking about some really important stuff going on, Run to the Woods. Still the same. But there you go. This is what it is. Can everyone tell me if the audio and visual is good? I'm looking at my face and it's a bit of a delay, but it doesn't seem too bad. Yeah, can you tell me if it's okay, because it's like I'm going to cancel the stream if it's rubbish. All good? Okay, 5 out of 5. So sounds good, audio's good. Fiona, thanks, perfect. Well, okay then. That's getting to the point, if I leave it too much it's going to get cold. Right, as you can guess, this is a bit of an emergency. Okay, I tried to do a live stream last week, just got too ill, too much going on, still not 100%, but in light of events I dragged myself up here and just had to get in touch with you guys to see what's going on where you are and what you know. As you can probably guess, this is all going to be about what's been happening overseas in Europe, okay, and how it affects us. That's what I wanted to talk about. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. I've got some notes. They're a bit random, okay. I didn't really get too much time to hone it all down into a structured order, so it's going to be a bit random. So what I love about these live streams is the interaction between the community, you guys, and what I've been hearing from people that I've got in contact with all around the world. Okay, so this is a mainstream media free zone. It's a sort of free speech zone. We don't talk about politics or religion on this channel, but as you can gather by how it's going, this is going to be slanting towards the political side. Okay, so we're going to try and keep it neutral. We don't want anyone upset. And we got, hey, Metallic Reality, good to see you. We got a couple of moderators in the house. Okay, 2 fine females, and they take no shh. Okay, so any horrible talk that's going to get me or anyone in trouble, you're just going to get kicked in the sin bin or deleted or blocked or banned, whatever they feel fit. Okay, I know. I feel like Charlie's Angels with these girls, and I'll tell you what, once they let loose, I can't stop them. So keep it clean, keep it a nice peaceful chat. Okay, we don't want no rubbish going on in chat. There's enough war going on. We don't want it on this channel. Okay, Tactical, I love you, brother. Thanks for joining in. Really good to see you. And Tactical is now a moderator too, so he won't take no shorts and he will get busy. Okay. So there's a lot going on, all right? And yeah, you can just sit in a corner, just crapping yourself, all right? But my saying, and I'm going to get this tattooed one day, is there's always a way, okay? No matter what happens, all right? Now, how good or bad things are, or how bad things may look, there's always a way around things. Call it cops and robbers, okay? The robbers invent a genius way to commit crime, and the police catch up and they stop it. And then the burglars and all the rest of it, all the bad guys, they create new ways to get around things. And so it's cat and mouse, okay? So there is always a way, all right? So apparently, Ukraine is in the top 10 of the big production output for wheat, all right? So they're not going to be exporting anything, as you can imagine, right? And the same as Russia, okay? So them two countries between them export a lot of things, all right? So we're going to be talking about food and fuel and how it affects us where we are and how we can ride the storm, okay? Now, I'll be honest, I feel this is going to be a long drawn out affair, all right? This isn't going to be the Falklands. It's just not going to be over in a few months. This is going to go on, okay? Now, myself, I was born in 1971, and I feel generally blessed and honoured to be born at that time because I never had to go through the Great Depression, World War One, World War Two, okay? I've not been in Ethiopia where there's been famine and stuff like that. So I'm very, very lucky and fortunate to be here at this time right now. But like, we've been in peacetime for a long time, and it's coming to the time where things are going to get really bad. All right. Now, this isn't. Before I carry on, I must not forget. There's a lot of fear mongering and scaremongering and stuff like that. Okay, and all I'm saying is what I've been hearing, what I'm believing to be correct, because there's a lot of bull out there. There really is a lot of bull out there. Okay, so I'm trying to sort of take a little bit from both sides, sit back and trying to absorb what's going on with friends that I've got positioned all around the planet, okay? And it allows me to form a more balanced opinion rather than just get drawn into one side, okay? Now, what I've been privy to over the years is when you're faced with mainstream information, okay, there are some truthful things in there, and there's a hell of a lot of BS in there, okay, as most of you probably know, but some may not understand this. So it's learning to how to interpret and read the news with a special filter. I call it a BS filter, okay? So you put your BS filters on and you go, yeah, whatever. You can see the agenda, you can tell what's coming and why and how they do it, okay? The powers that be have been doing stuff like this for eons, okay? Not 100 years, a long time, all right? A hell of a long time. And it works very effectively. You've heard that saying, divide and conquer. So you divide two people and you let them fight each other, okay? The ultimate goal, once this period gets to a crescendo, and I mean the most scariest crescendo that you could possibly imagine, okay? It will happen in our lifetime. I would say 2030 is that pinnacle time, okay? So this storm is starting now, and it's only going to gradually get worse right up to 2030. It's going to get to a point where most people around the planet will be so frightened, will be so fed up, will be so bored, they won't know what to believe, what's right or wrong. And when I said, you know, you've got two factions against each other, divide and conquer, how the game is going to play out, they're ultimately going to win, is they're going to unite everyone under a new world order. As you probably may know, the agenda 2030 is very real. Event 201 was very real, okay? If you don't understand or know anything about this, in your own time, just research into those two subjects. Event 2030 and, sorry, Agenda 2030 and Event 201. Sorry, I brought myself about the rest of my coffee. So the ultimate goal, from what I understand, is they want a new world order, which will be a one world government, a one world digital currency, okay? And they want a one world religion. That is the three key pyramid shaped what they're after, okay? So how they're going to do that is usually by fear. Okay, lots of human sacrifice. I mean, you can see it going on now all over the media, what's going on overseas. So it's going to affect everyone mentally more than you could possibly imagine. Okay, weapon collector, hey dude, good to see you, bro. So luckily for me, I woke up in 2008 and I've spent 4 years solidly, heavily researching into these matters. And I've come to the conclusion, I know how we're getting shafted, okay? And I don't want to spend the rest of my life looking at how hard I'm being shafted, okay? I know how I'm being shafted and I know more or less how it's being done. So I come to the conclusion, well, I need to take matters into my own hands and prepare for it. So I started prepping, okay? Back in 2012, and I started this channel, and here we are. We've got a great family, 365 in the chat. Awesome, that's good to see. 75 thumbs up. If you can drop out the chat, hit the thumbs up, come back in. That's it. It really helps because when people watch the replay, more people will get this. So we want as many people to get this information. And of course, any information that you've got that you feel is relevant to what I'm talking about, please throw it in the chat, okay? If it's going to offend anyone or you think it may not be too factual, maybe just hold off on actually making a comment, okay? So once you've made a comment, it stays there forever. It's called a digital footprint. So be careful what you say, how you say it, okay? So, Russia, fertilizer and wheat. So guess what? There ain't going to be no more coming out of Russia, Jack, okay? So what does that mean for us? Well, when you think of what you actually use wheat for, okay, all of the things that you're used to eating, like bread and stuff like that, and pasta and things like that, it's all going to be affected, okay? So main staple things. The price is jumped up crazy. I've been keeping an eye on the markets, and my eyes literally went like this a few times, okay? Cat and Jess, good to see you. And yes, it's a scary time. It's not good news. But like I said, there's always a way, all right? Ka-ching. Right, coffee's done, sorted. So everything seems to be going crazy, doesn't it? You know, it really, really is. And prices are going bonkers. And there's a good reason for why the prices are going bonkers. And it's not just a few things, it's practically everything will go up. I'll skip this market stuff for the moment and wheat and all the rest of it. But the main problem at the moment that I think a lot of us are being affected right now is fuel, okay? Fuel is a serious problem. It seriously is. It's not just about your little diesel car going to work, etc., and costing more money. When you consider that most, practically all, of goods and services, especially food, etc., and supplies, are driven around the UK in diesel lorries. Okay, so you can expect the price of whatever they're delivering to be passed on to the consumer, which is us. Okay, Moocher, all right, bruv. So, what can you do about it? I mean, from where I live, Bilf Wales in Mid Wales. Okay, that's where I live. It's where I work, and the problem that I'm facing directly is everything is so far away. I decided to leave the city because I can foresee big problems, and I didn't want my family living in a place like that with what's coming down the road. We might talk about that a little bit later if I remember. Okay. So diesel costs, all right, it's really going to have a massive effect. I was paying, what is it, I think it's 169.9, something like that, pretty much for quite a while, okay? All of a sudden, that dropped up to, was it 196.9, so 197, just under £2, all right? That was insane. So when I went to the garage that morning, I was okay for fuel. I just needed to get some, I think it's some sandwiches on the way to work or something like that. And I said to the checkout girl in there, I said, the diesel price is a bit juicy. I said, how did that make you feel when you put the price up on the board? And she said, well, it is all from head office. And this is a Texaco garage, which is Rothschild owned, if you know what I'm talking about. All right. and they deemed that was what the price was going to be, and that was what they had to do. And that was in Berkshire. So Texaco, HQ in UK is based in Berkshire, down south. Berkshire, okay? Very affluent area, just outside London, right? There's a lot of money down there. So yes, the price jumped up 20 odd p overnight, okay? Which is the maddest I've seen ever, fuel jump up that much that quick. So she said apparently they was told it's going to be going up more soon as well. So I'm like, whoa. So we found another petrol station which was on my way to work in a roundabout way, and that was still 169. So we've been, filling up, etc. So it's had an effect. All right. So what I want to do now is, before I forget, I want to share with you a few simple tips which I've done for years, and it works really well. If you drive a diesel vehicle, or a petrol vehicle for that matter, what I advise you do is to take as much weight out of that vehicle as you can. Okay. Myself, in the back of my 4x4, I've got this great big ABS plastic box, and it's full up with my winter kit. Okay, so it's got like shovel in there, it's got food in there, it's got tow rope in there, it's got all sorts of goodies that you're going to need to get you through winter, because I live on the side of a mountain way out in the hills and no one around. Okay, so we need to look after ourselves. No one's coming to help us. Okay, so I decided to put that stuff in my wagon. All right. So what I said to my partner is, I'm taking it out the vehicle, I'm putting it under the kitchen table, slide it out of the way. Okay. I'm only going to be putting that back in the vehicle if there's an imminent threat to serious bad weather like snow. Okay. Or we've got a heavy storm coming. I'll put it back in the vehicle and just drive until that risk has passed, or I deemed it safe to carry on without that bit of kit in the car. All right. So take as much weight out of your car as you can. All right. Everything. Anything that's not urgently needed. I mean, I've kept my fire extinguisher in there, a brew kit and a blanket. Everything else is gone. Okay. That saves a lot of weight, because the more weight that you carry in your vehicle, the more fuel you're going to use, and the more it's going to cost, the more frequent you're going to need to refill, possibly needlessly. Okay. If you've got loads of money, don't have to worry about any of this advice, but most of us haven't got much money. Okay. And these times are seriously challenging a lot of people. Okay. I'm with you, Guy. I'm not a millionaire. I'm just like you guys. I'm struggling. I'm skint as well, and it's hard. So ways that you can get around that to make it a bit better, like I said, lighten your vehicle. Number 2, check your tyre pressures. Okay. Just go to a garage, chuck a pound in, or if you've got your own inflator, put it in a fag lighter, inflate your tyres. I usually do mine anything between 32, 33 psi, depending on what vehicle you've got. Please check, make sure it's what you need to put in there. You don't want to over inflate your tyre pressures. Okay, so get your tyres done. That's it. All right. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you drive sensibly. So cut your speed down. Okay, so we've got a big old long road not too far from us. We go down there and it's a single carriageway, and the speed limit is 60. I'll go down there at 50. Okay, people drive up my backside, do one, overtake me or whatever it is. Lots of us in this farming community drive that speed down there anyway. It's only the lunatics who feel they've got money to burn by booting it up there at 90 miles an hour, burning all that fuel, diesel, petrol, whatever it is. Just screw them, okay? They'll either overtake you, or if they bother you, just clip your little rear view mirror at angles that you can't see them, out of sight, out of mind, okay? So reduce your speed, put it in top gear, and lower the revs, okay? I can sit there quite happily doing 50 miles an hour at 2,000 revs with my tyre pressures at 33 psi, with all of the weight taken out of my vehicle, okay? And my fuel will go a lot further, okay? It really, really will. So just a few tips, they do actually work, okay? So if you are in a position where this is costing a lot of money, it's affecting us as a family or myself as an individual or whatever it is, try them things and it will really help, okay? So it's important to pass the information on as well. So not everyone gets to see this. So if you know someone who drives, just share them tips with them. They might know them, they might not. But a lot of people don't know basic things like this, okay? It'll make your journey a lot easier, a lot safer as well, because we're still pretty much in winter up here in Wales. And, you know, it's best that people drive sensibly than too fast when it's raining or it's dark or whatever. Okay. So please feel free to share them tips. It really helps. So yeah, diesel, it's really going to have an impact. Okay. Like I said, lorry drivers. I mean, if there's any lorry drivers in the house on here right now, say hi in the chat. Tell me how much it's costing you to fill up from bottom to top your HGVs, and it'll be interesting to see on the chat how expensive these are. Okay, so like I said, all of these costs will at some point. V, hi, good to see you. It's been a while. Hey, Hannah. So yes, it's going to have a knock-on effect, and the cost will eventually at some point be passed on to the customer. Okay, we get logs delivered to where we are, right back out in the yonder. And when we got a delivery only a few days ago, he said next time the price is going to go up, because he said the fuel costs are killing us, and that was his words. Okay, so it's really having an impact. So I just saw an American comment just whiz past up there briefly, and I've done a calculation. Now, my American friends and colleagues, they're paying around $4 per gallon. Okay. Now, I've done an equivalent of UK litres and money to the American gallons and money. And what it works out, the equivalent that the UK motorist is paying for 1 US gallon of diesel, do you know how much it's costing? $30. It costs us $30 for 1 gallon, and they're paying $4. So it just goes to show how heavily taxed we are here in the UK. Hey, Kev B, I hope that's my bro, if you know what I mean. If it is, say PFC, and that'd be cool. I asked Dad to pop on here too, but you know, it's like the football, if it is you, Kev. So yes, you know, these things will really, really help. So if there's any HGV drivers out there, or anyone who drives for a living, can you tell us in the chat how that's affecting you, the feedback that you're getting from your customers? That'd be really, really cool. Let me just see. Yeah, thanks, Tactical. Yeah, the thumbs up really helps, dude. Seriously. I'm scared to touch the screen because the whole thing will wobble everywhere. So yeah, there it goes. It's crazy. The price is absolutely bonkers. So it's interesting to see on the chat what you guys are going through, you know. Do you remember, actually, do you remember when the fuel crisis hit last year, I think it was? I think I saw, I don't know if it was fake or it's genuine. I got a feeling some of it was genuine, when you see some American citizens going to a gas station and filling up bags, plastic bags, clear plastic bags with petrol gas, and tying them up and putting them in the boot of their vehicle. I saw that and I thought, that can't be real. People really can't be that thick to do that stuff. Seriously? Yeah, 60 quid for half a tank diesel. Yeah. And do you know what? Do you remember me on an old live stream now? I remember saying, this was in 2020, that at some point, any diesel drivers are going to be heavily penalised, because they're going to blame it on climate change, okay? The environment and all that sort of thing. They're going to blame it on the environment. Yep, the diesel 4x4, they're going to be the first hit. So big, juicy, diesel guzzling vehicles, the people who drive them are going to be terrible people. Well, thanks for your donation, sir. Let me just, I can't believe that. Wow, that's awesome. Mark, it looks like Mapson. I can't see. Good to see you again. Hey, dude, thank you very much. I seriously appreciate that. That's very kind, sir. Oh, wow, it's good to see you on here, and thanks for that. That's brilliant. But yeah, that was just insane. Seeing all of that back then, and saying that like the diesel motorist is going to be heavily penalised. So they're going to do their best by discrediting the diesel owner, driver, And yeah, it's sorry, I'm just getting distracted by the chat. It's hard to sort of see and all these stuff going up because it's 374 people going to this in a moment. So yeah, it was pretty bonkers back then to say that, and then to see it only just starting to happen now. All right, which is a bit of a concern, because I always tend to sort of look far ahead. Okay, so I've been right on some occasions. I've got a few things wrong. I'm only human at the end of the day. But yeah, diesel motorists are going to be outlawed. They're going to be singled out because they're going to be blamed for contributing to climate change. And the government, not the government, but the mainstream media is only owned by, I think it's 6 companies globally. So all the information is what they want you to see. Okay, and they edit it with their agenda at heart. Okay, so that's how it works, and it's a very powerful tool, because unfortunately a lot of people believe every single thing the mainstream media say. Okay, and as most of us know on here, which I hope can see through the BS with our BS filters on, and we can take the bits that we think, oh, okay. Paolo, good to see you, brother. Wicked. Paolo and Tactical in the house. Lifesavers, you two. Really good to see you. So yeah, the next thing is going to be is petrol. So people who drive petrol vehicles, after the diesel motorists have been kicked to the curb, the petrol cars and owners are going to be kicked as well. So where this is all heading, again, Agenda 2030, if you've not heard of it, I suggest you research it and look into it, okay? And there's lots of information about Agenda 2030, United Nations, okay? And what they want at the end is everyone who drives, who can afford it, and trust me, it will cost a lot of money. So most of us drive now, won't be able to afford it this decade at some point. You will have to find alternative ways to move around. They want everyone electric vehicles, okay? Now, one of the main reasons they want everyone to drive electric vehicles is control, all right? So at the moment, I can go to a petrol station here in the UK, I can put diesel in my vehicle, I can wear disguises over my face, I can pay with cash. If I wanted to be really sneaky, I could just take my number plates off, because there is ANPR, which is, what is it? Automatic number plate recognition. Okay, they used to be just by the police used it, but it's everywhere now. ANPR. It's all data logging, people's movements on location, geolocations, etc. Hey, dude, thanks very much for your. Oh wow, Sally, that's very, very kind. Seriously, I really do appreciate that. Oh man, I can't tell you how much that helps. Thank you very much indeed for that. It's very nice. And it's all about control, like I said, all right? So what they want is they want everyone in an electric car, okay? At some point, they're going to be autonomous, which means you don't have to steer them, okay? It will just drive you wherever you want to go, pretty much, as long as it's charged, all right? That's another story. Let's talk about batteries and lithium in a minute, all right? If you don't already know about that scam. So what they want is control. They want to know where everyone is, what they're doing, okay? So these vehicles, electric vehicles, will be running in conjunction with the 5G network, okay? It's called a 5G mesh system. So how they're going to do this, and I've already seen this with my own eyes, and at first I thought, wow, could this actually happen? And I've seen it with my own eyes, and this, what I'm saying, is true. If you look at street lights, you will see it's got a little dome on the top of it, and what that does is it tells the street light when it's dark and when it's light, for when to turn off and when to turn on again. There's nothing too untoward about that. But when you see a stubby antenna aerial about the size of my little finger sticking up on the top of a street light anywhere in the UK, probably in America too, that will bounce the 5G frequency from one lamppost to another. And I've already seen it on the M27 in southern England, where I used to spend many hours driving to and from work, back when I used to be in a rat race, okay? I've seen just one day, all of a sudden in 2020, they just appeared. So they've done it covertly overnight. I suspect it when lockdown happened. and there was a lot of 5G installations that was going on back at that time. Okay, I've heard, I've got a friend up in Glasgow. She said they was putting in a huge big 5G tower right outside their kids' school, which is a bad move. Okay, so what this does is you've got a base station. Okay, so the 5G frequency is going to be generated there, possibly with or without satellites beaming down to that, goes from the base station, it's going to be bounced to the street furniture, which is the street lights. Okay, so when the motorways are, I think they're doing the motorways first and some towns and cities. Okay, when you see these little aerials on the street lights, they're all going to link, because the 5G frequency is a very short wavelength. Okay, it's very short indeed, so it doesn't go that far. That's why street furniture is perfect for that. Okay, so it just links everything. So once that system is in place, and it's happening right now, okay, so when you're out and about in your vehicle and the weather's nice and you look at the street lights, if you see them aerials on there, they are 5G ready. So when that network's done, all of your electric cars will be linking up to these vehicles, and that's going to receive data from your electric vehicle. So you could be in your vehicle like this and it's driving itself. You could be on your phone, whatever, blah blah blah. So it's going to know where you're going. It's going to know what you're saying, because it's going to turn the microphone on and off in your vehicle without you probably knowing. Okay, it's going to know how fast you're going, where you started from, where you're going to, all of the rest of it. It's going to know how many people are in there. It probably have cameras in there, so they're going to ID with eyes and stuff like that. Okay, facial recognition in the vehicles. It'll all be built in by 2030. Okay, so basically the electric vehicle is going to be one big mobile surveillance gathering device. Okay, and if you go on social media and you got on your phone and you see something that you don't like, you've had a bad day, you're a bit wound up, and you say something you perhaps might regret, it's too late. Once you've typed anything online, it's called a digital footprint, and it stays there forever. You can't go and delete it, it's done. They've already got it on a database somewhere on a server. All right, so you could be driving along, you could say something, oh, I think Putin's or whatever, and then all of a sudden your vehicle could just stop. They could turn your vehicle off. You could lose loads of freedoms that way. Okay, so I can't see any way around this. Apparently, I found out recently that all of the oil in the planet, when they've drilled all of these wells and they've pumped all the oil out and they've become dry, they've gone back there 3 or 4 years later and they fill up again. So oil, in theory, never ever runs out. It keeps on coming. Okay, don't ask me how, but it happens. All right. So with that being said, there's an infinite supply of oil. Okay, so there's no like, oh my god, once the oil runs out, what we're going to do, we're going to have to go electric. That's what they're going to try and have you believe. All right, so I think we need to try and just keep our vehicles as they are for as long as we can, because going down the electric road, honestly, you're just handing your freedom to them on a plate. Okay, so yeah, I digress slightly. So what can we do about all of the other stuff that's going on? Let me see. The markets. Germany. What's his name? I've got a friend in Germany right now, and I heard that Germany's gas price has doubled. Now, if you want to do, can you tell me if that's true? I just want to confirm it, because I don't want to be telling people if this is like bogus info. Now, it's from a good source, so I want to know if it's factual. So in Germany, the gas price has doubled. Apparently, this is unconfirmed, but the missiles that they're using in the conflict that's going on overseas at the moment, they estimate that there's, was it 500 ounces or so of silver in these missiles? Whether they're ounces or grams, I really can't remember. I wrote this down fast. I like to think it's the lower amount, okay? Because silver, now, if you haven't got silver already, I suggest you do what you can to get as much as you can, as fast as you can, because the price of silver is going to go absolutely boom. Now, I heard from one of these investors recently, I think it was yesterday morning, he said 2 to 3 weeks time, the silver price is going to rocket. Now, I've heard loads of these sort of tales over the last couple of years, and nothing's really happened. So, silver, regardless whether it jumps in 2 to 3 weeks, at some point over the next 2 years, I think it will. Okay. Luckily for me, when I brought my silver, I paid £22 for one coin. They were brand new, untouched by human hands, and they were 4 nines fine, which is medical grade, high quality, the best quality you can get silver bullion coins. Okay. Now, I bought them with the intention of bartering, but not only that, as a medicinal aid. If any of you don't know the medicinal benefits of silver, please look into it. It will blow your mind. Silver is the most conductive metal, more conductive than gold by a long shot. They use it to clean supermarket trolley handles now, the silver spray, because it just kills bugs like crazy. So make colloidal silver, all right? So you get these coins, you put them in a vessel, distilled water, you put electric charge through them, and it leaches into the water, and it turns into colloidal silver. That stuff is absolutely awesome. If you have a couple of teaspoons of that every day, trust me, you ain't getting sick. It's amazing stuff. So silver is definitely worth its weight in gold. It really is. And like I said, I paid £22 a coin now. That same coin I tried to get, which is a Canadian maple made in 2020, is now £61 per coin. Okay. When you look at the spot price on silver, a lot of people get confused and say, oh, it's not that much. But let me tell you this much. Say the spot price, silver is £25 per troy ounce of silver. Okay. You won't be able to get any silver anywhere for that price. Okay. It's always going to be a lot more. The spot price is absolute bogus. Okay. It's a big scam. And you go on to Bullion by Post, or if you're out in the US, you look around your sources out there and you look at 1 ounce 4 nines fine silver bullion coins and look at the cheapest that you can get. You won't get it for a spot price, guarantee it. All right. So, like I say with everything, okay, all of your preps, try your best to make it as hedged as possible. Okay. So, we're talking food. So, what sort of food should I collate? What should I collect? What should I own? What should I store? I would say as many different things as you can, providing they're long term. And when you think about kit and equipment, you want one item to do many things. Okay. Mushroom soup, which I've said for years now, is an absolute awesome bit of kit. You can have it just for soup. You can mix it up with garlic and herbs and olive oils and stuff. You can do like loads of Italian pasta dishes with it. You can chop up chicken with it. You can put it in that, and you can put other things in there, paprika and things. Put it with rice. Okay, it's really, really versatile. And a tin of chicken soup currently in the UK, the cheapest I found is 35p a tin, which is very, very cheap considering what's going on. So expect that to go crazy soon. Okay, mushroom soup is absolutely awesome. Okay. So get as much of that as you can. Yeah, when you do your shop, instead of just getting one tin, just get about 4 or 5 every week and just keep hoarding them. Okay, keep getting them. Don't go crazy. Don't be the panic guy and like Sky News or whatever and just get a whole trolley full. Just get a few now and again. Okay, that lasts for years, and you can. It's versatile as hell. You can do lots of things. So, like I said, with your silver, think of it as food. Okay, don't try eating it. What you want to do is you want to do many different things as possible. UK Prepperman Chris, I just see you bump up there. Hi, dude. Hope it's all going well. Chris, let us know how it's going with the HGV driving and the diesel prices. How you're going to think it's going to pass on to customers. The prices you've seen in service stations. Whack it all in the chat, mate. It'd be cool because we can all read it. I'll read it on the replay. Okay, I can't read it now. There's over 400 people just cutting bonkers, and I just can't see it. There's too much going on. So yeah, as many different foods as you can get long term, and food that you actually like. Okay, so get rice, get pasta, get staples. Okay, now get yourself like potatoes, things like that. They're very, very important. Anything that's bulky. Okay, So you want loads of calories, a base thing, which you can put loads of different things to it, just to make, you know, bugging in or bugging out more pleasurable, rather than just sitting there with 200 tins of spam, like some American guys might want to do. It's not going to be good, okay? So spread your bets. So you've got all different types of food stored, okay? You've got all of your money in one bank account. What happens if there's a cyber attack? And that is a real serious threat, okay? It's no bull crap, all right? The cyber threat is very, very real, okay? And they want everyone to be on a digital currency. So I wouldn't be surprised if one day everyone woke up and everyone's bank account on the planet was reset to zero. That wouldn't surprise me at all, okay? So, like my dear late friend Ian R. Crane said to me, he said, when you're talking about the financial system and money, what he done was he got an overdraft and he lived right at the top of it, okay? So it's not actually his money. So when this system does get reset, he hasn't really lost anything. In fact, he's probably gained some, okay? And I do the same. I've got an overdraft and I'm right near the very top of it, okay? So if anything happens, I'm not going to go, oh my God, my £200,000 is just gone, okay? I'm not going to be one of them guys. I'm taking the money out before I got to where I am now, and I've invested it in different things. Silver is one of them. Invest in silver as much as you can. And some people who aren't really educated enough or can't think that far ahead, they will say, well, you can't eat silver. No, but you can certainly cure yourself from a lot of sicknesses if you use colloidal silver, like I said earlier, and you can barter and exchange goods. Lots of people won't be comfortable or used to the idea of swapping items. They'll feel more comfortable passing over some sort of solid currency, okay? And if there is one thing that you should do is when you receive your silver coins, usually by post, you want a magnetic slide. Now, how I got around this was I've got a big global, you know, the kitchen knife people, and it's got a big metal bar which screws to the wall, and you just stick your knives on it magnetically, okay? Just unscrew that, take the knives off, you hold it at, say, a 45-degree angle, you get your coin, and you put it flat side down, and you just watch it slide. If it slides nice and slowly, that coin, the chances are that will be genuine, okay? And you can test this out by putting a 10p piece on there, or a 5p piece, or a 1p piece, or whatever it is, and it will slide down there really fast. If you've got a silver coin and you put it on there and it slides fast, that's a fake coin, and you've got to do whatever you can to get your money back and have a right go at the evil toad who sold that coin to you, all right? So that's one thing you can do to test that your silver is pure. Very, very useful advice. Now, lots of people have been asking me lately, what do I do? You know, I'm new to prepping. I need to do a bug out bag. I need to put supplies in it. Where do I start? What do I do? Well, as luck would have it, here where I'm working at the moment, as probably some of you might know, that I'm now a survival instructor, and we've already done one course, and we've got another one coming up soon. So this one coming up soon is a 3-day survival course. That's actually sold out. The one coming up after that is only 2 spaces left on there, and it's called the Bugging Out course. It's a 3-day course. No, sorry, it's a 2-day course. So it's just a one overnight stay. People stay in the log cabins and things like that. And I'll teach you everything that you need to know, especially, doesn't matter if you're a newbie or you've been doing this for years, okay? There's always something to learn. And trust me, the people that I've met and known all around the world, and hints and tips and ideas, and the time I've invested into looking into this subject, it's going to be awesome, okay? So if you're new to this, there's going to be, I might try and put a link under the video when this video gets uploaded, okay? So people who are interested in doing a bugging out course, or a shit at the fan course, or a prepper course, there are a few spaces left on there. So before they're gone, I thought I'd just take this opportunity now to say, if you're interested, you want to come over to Wales and learn a few things for a couple of days, the spaces are still available, okay? Just before I forget. So that's up there. What else can I say? Yes, this is a new one I didn't realise until early this morning. Apparently, if any of you guys in America right now, I'll take it on the east side, it's probably around 3 a.m, something like that. Sorry, 3 p.m. in the afternoon. There's a big bird flu problem going on. It's affecting a lot of poultry, chicken and turkeys, okay? The prices of chicken meat and turkey meat are going bonkers out there, okay? So I don't see any reason why that should be different over here. It could easily happen over here. Chicken prices are going to go crazy. Okay, so I would say, based on what's happened in America, if you've got chest freezers and you've got a way to keep the power running, if you get power cuts, get chicken, as much chicken as you can. All right, chicken is absolutely versatile. I love it in curries, etc. I do it with pasta, with what I've done earlier with the mushroom soup, with some streaky bacon, put it in there, some garlic, a few herbs and that. It's awesome with pasta and or rice. Okay, chicken, awesome. A good source of protein. Try and get expensive stuff if you can. It's better for you, but if you can't afford it, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's calories, okay? And let's face it, most of us can't afford it. So we just get what we can. Get as much chicken as you can. Incidentally, speaking of food and that sort of way, something really new, and this is going to be a first. It's going to be announced right here. We've got 418 people listening. Now, this is a first that I believe, I don't know if it's in the world or in the UK, but me and a friend of mine, we're starting up a business not too far. It's actually in Bilf, Wales, where we've got a property, a commercial property, and we're going to have an industrial freeze drying machine and a standard food dehydrator machine, and we are considering putting canning equipment in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and set up a website or something like that where people book slots. They come in with their food and they can freeze dry their own food. Save an absolute fortune. It literally cuts out the middleman, okay? Because I'm looking earlier on when I was at work, and the tins, the prices have just gone up and they're going to go even higher. So what we're thinking of doing is we're getting people to actually prepare their own food at home, bring it into the facility, load this huge great big machine up and freeze dry their own food. Okay, you can do anything you want. All right. Personally, if it was me, I would do one food stuff at a time. Okay. What I want to do, because I'm going to be doing it myself, okay, because I need to be affiliate with this machine, because when people come to this facility, I'm going to be on hand to greet them, to run them through how it works. I might even make a few videos for them to watch so they can gen themselves up on how it works. It should be very simple and straightforward. But you know, we get around the food hygiene thing by getting people to use the machine by actually prepping their food at home. You're only going to need food hygiene qualifications at the facility if you're preparing it there. Oh my god, everything's been blown. Yes, I'm in the shop, not a green room. There you go. That's quite funny. Colour Sergeant Axe has got my back there. Seesaw Sog in the house. So yeah, that's quite funny. That's a magical moment of 48 minutes. You see when the towel. So yeah. So what we want to do is we want to get people to come and prep their own food at home, so they don't need to get licensed and registered and all that sort of thing. And they're not going to sell it for their own use or your own use. So I was thinking, when I go to do it myself, I'm just going to get loads of chicken breast. I'm going to chop it all up in little pieces. Little pieces are better because they take less energy to rehydrate and to recook, okay, or to cook. So I'll just do a whole lot full up with chicken. Once that's done, that goes into a container. Now you can, I'm thinking of doing some experiments, all right, with freeze drying. I've still got my food saver vacuum sealer, which I bought from America years ago. Okay, so I want to get amounts in there which I think is going to be enough for us as a family. You don't want to go too crazy. Oxygen absorber straight in there, vac seal it. Okay, so when you look at these the tubs and the packets, they're good and they last 25 years. I think they have got an oxygen absorber in the tins. Okay, I've never opened one, so I don't really know, but I think they do have. All right. Excuse me. They last for 25 years plus. Okay, so I'm planning on taking that further by vacuum sealing it with an oxygen absorber, so there's no air in there at all. And it's a food grade bag, heavy duty bag, okay, and just store it away. So all you need to do is, if and when, it doesn't have to be 25 years, it could be a couple of years, all right? But all I'm saying is, if you was to go and buy 1 pound in weight of chicken breasts right now, okay, How much do you think that £1 of chicken breast is going to cost in 25 years' time? I'll tell you what, it's going to be a hell of a lot more than it is right now. So that is when people say to me, oh, what's the point in getting food that lasts 25 years? You want to save a lot of money, son. That's what you do. And I'll tell you what, these industrial, and it's a good one, okay? It's not a cheap thing. It's seriously really good. And I can't wait to get my hands on having a go on it. You just get your food, you freeze dry it. So everything is taken out. So whenever you want to open it up and use it, all you got to do is just rehydrate it in cold water or warm water or boiling water or whatever you need to do. And it turns exactly how it was the second it was dried and freeze dried. So that is awesome. So when you think about freeze drying food and how long it lasts for, you know, you can transport it in bug out vehicles. It's going to save you a fortune in fuel because of the weight. Let's face it, you can get water anywhere in the UK, especially here in Wales. All right, it's absolutely bonkers out. It's raining right now, funny enough. So yeah, freeze drying. So it's going to be a community facility, a community project. Well, like I say, people go on their website, they look at the availability times. I think it's a 12-hour cycle. So you come early in the morning if you only stay in a day or whatever. You put all your food in all of these, I think there's big, huge, massive big trays, 10 of them, right up to the top. Put all the food that you ever want in there, freeze dry it all of that in there is going to cost a lot cheaper than spending £40 on one of them tins of a little bit, okay? So you can actually do it yourself. It's not just like things like chicken. You can do anything in that. You can grow your own strawberries and things like that. You can slice them all up, put them in a bag, take them over there, freeze dry them, pack them however you want. Even if you just freeze dry them there, took them home, and then it will give you time to get like mason jars or kilner jars, oxygen absorbers, whatever you want to do, big food grade white buckets, the blue bug out barrels we do here at the shop. Okay, there's loads of ways that you can store it. But the freeze drying stuff actually lasts for donkey's years. Okay, and also, like I said, we're going to have a normal dehydrator there as well. Okay, so the dehydrator, I mean, that's going to last you 5 years plus, something like that. The freeze dryer is more heavy duty, it lasts a lot longer. All right, and also canning. Now, I see my friend Carl, who's on here before, and Carl, he knows a few things about canning, so I need to hook up with Carl at some point, pick his brains a bit about how he does canning, because I've never done it before. I know a lot of you US homesteaders out there are tuning in right now have done canning before, so we hope to get a canning facility at that place as well. So you could literally just book a slot for a few hours or whatever it is, go in there, get all of your food actually preserved in any way that you want to try it out. It's just going to save you guys all of the money. I mean, buying a freeze dry machine is like 5, 10, 15, 20,000 pounds. It's a lot of money. Okay, so we've got one. It's on its way. It's coming. The dehydrator is already there. Okay, so I'm just going to be learning myself how it all works, and I can't wait, to be honest. So there's going to be more information coming out about that soon. So if any of you guys are interested, you know, stay tuned, because there will be more information about this community-based facility where you can come and book time there and freeze dry all your own food to save you buying all of the expensive tins and pouches, because then prices are going up all the time, and the availability as well. European Freeze Dry is one of the biggest freeze dry suppliers, manufacturers on the planet. Okay, they've got one facility out in Europe, I can't remember exactly where, and they've got one over in the UK. And my boss, my friend, he put an order in, and it took him 6 months to get his order. Okay, so there's a big problem, and that was last year. Can you imagine what it's going to be like right now with all of this supply chain and diesel and all that sort of stuff going on? All right, it's seriously, seriously bad. So expect food prices to go up. They're not going to be going down. Shop around is my advice. I now split my shopping between Aldi and Tesco, because I just save a lot more money that way. It used to be Tesco's only, but when I discovered I went to Aldi and I'll get very similar quality stuff for like sometimes half of the price, you know, that money goes towards the expense of diesel is. So we're not really out of pocket. So it's all about being savvy, okay, making your money go further. Now, a big question a lot of people say to me is, how the hell can I afford to get all this stuff? I haven't got money. And I'll just say to these people, and I say, look, all I can tell you is what I done, all right? Now, I woke up back in 2008, as most of you know now. And then from that moment on, spending time watching television, done. I've just saved myself 7, 8 hours every evening by not watching that crap on the television. I've got more time. Awesome. Let me just put that down there, silly thing. So I bought myself time. I said, yeah, but I've got no money. I said, okay, I don't spend money on getting loads of tattoos. I don't smoke like a trooper. I don't drink like a fish. I don't go gambling. I don't go to football matches. I don't go to pubs and all the rest of it. I don't buy expensive clothes. I don't buy flash cars and all the rest of it. I don't go on holiday. So all of that money I'm saving, I'm utilising towards getting things in order, which I feel I need to do to protect my family for the crap that is coming down the line. And if you think this is scaremongering, nothing's going to happen, you're probably watching the wrong channel, and you're probably best just go, bye bye. This is a good community on here, and a lot of people tend to agree with what I'm saying. And it doesn't matter if you don't; it's absolutely fine. This is just my opinion, and we should all express our own opinions, no matter what the common flag's going to be. Okay, so that is my advice. Okay, turn the telly off, buy yourself time. Don't waste your money on all of that crap that you don't need to get. Okay, it's more important, in my opinion, to use your time wisely by reading, watching events, chatting to like-minded people around the world to get a more balanced, varied view of what actually is going on. And let's face it, there is so much going on. Okay, you've got like North Korea. Expect them to be in the news within the next month or so. They're mucking around with hypersonic bloody nukes and things like that at the moment towards like Japan and that sort of thing. It's not looking good. Expect something big coming out of China towards Taiwan within the next month, 2 months. Okay, so expect that. Okay, so all you have to try and remember is whatever they're showing you on the mainstream media, that is what they want you to be spending your time looking on. And I look at a little tiny bit. I'll probably about 10 minutes a day. Oh, what's going on in Ukraine and what are the people being shown? And I'm looking at a few things that I'm seeing on social media. And I'll tell you what, 2 words spring to mind, and that's called deep fake. If you've got no idea what deep fake is, do some internet research on it whenever you get a chance. And you can find a chance by turning that bloody telly off. You found yourself 8 hours every evening, okay? 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, come home from work, put the telly on, leave it on to half 11, go to bed. What have you learned? Probably nothing really. Turn the telly off, go on the internet, research like crazy, read books, speak to people who have come up with different opinions which sound interesting, which will gravitate to you, which your intuition is picking up. Oh, something's going on about that guy. What he's saying is ringing with me. It's ringing a bell. Go down that road. Trust your heart and your intuition and follow it no matter what. Because the distractions out there are bonkers. All right, there's a lot going on out there. There seriously is. So food's a problem, fuel's a problem. So my advice is do what you can to get what you can, because the prices are not going to come down. They're going to stay the same or go up and go up. Okay. So yeah, time. People, I don't know, they seem to waste their time just watching rubbish on the television or going out to the pub or watching sports and all that sort of thing. I've done all that years ago. Okay. Then I woke up. I used to go and watch football matches. I used to go and get Lacoste t-shirts. I used to stand in a pub drinking, wearing Ben Sherman stuff and all of his stuff. It all cost a lot of money. It all wastes a lot of time. And I could have stayed down that road and I wouldn't have known Jack Corn Dolly what I do right now. So all I do is I've spent a lot of time researching, listening, reading, understanding how the system works, and come to the conclusion, right, I need to start preparing for what's coming, to ensure that my family have an easier ride going through this storm. And there's a big storm coming. It's no joke. This is an emergency live stream. There is a storm coming. Okay, so even if you haven't got the money, you've got to find a way to get more money or to sell the stuff in the house that you don't really need. Look around your house, make a list. What don't I actually need? What's taking up space? What's worth some money? Write it all down, okay? Put it all on eBay, put it all on Facebook Marketplace, whatever you want to do, however you want to sell it, it's entirely down to you. Sell all of the crap that you don't need, okay? Then you're going to start getting some money coming in. Then you need to look at what gaps you've got in your preps, your preparedness plan, okay? And look more at the moment into fuel and food, okay? Security will be on the agenda, but that's further down the road from what I foresee. Security is going to be an issue, especially with fuel theft, okay? That's going to be a possibility at the rate that this fuel is going up. Incidentally, like I said earlier, when I've been keeping an eye on the markets, crazy. US coca, that went up 15 points. US soybeans went up 14 points. London gas oil went up 44 points. Unheard of. Crude oil, 4.7 points. Brent, 5.5 points. Gold, 6 points. And of course, some of us actually saw when gold went over 2K. I know, I screenshotted it when I saw it and it all went red. Oh my God, 2,000 an ounce of gold. Yeah, silver should be the same roundabout than gold. So at some point, it's going to jump straight up there, okay? So let me see. So that's the markets have been absolutely crazy. The COMEX is, what is it, 40 times. This is a problem as well. People think about silver, and a lot of people, for some weird reason, get ETFs. Okay, ETFs is basically a paper promise on someone holding silver for you. So when people start to realise that their portfolio is like £10,000 worth of silver, they haven't physically got it, but some bank or some company or some organisation is allegedly holding it for them, and you've got that receipt so you can cash it in and get it whenever you want. What happens when lots of people start saying, I want my silver now, please? They haven't got all of that silver in stock. Trust me. If you study money and how money was created, how it was born, how it changed and how it was manipulated over time, it's a fascinating story. There's a few good videos on YouTube. I don't know if they're still up, but they was there years ago. And it goes back to all the kings and queens in England and stuff. And about the idea is what they tried to say was, there's all the gentry would travel around the UK and they would have like big bags of gold and silver and things like that, coins. It was getting to the point there, the more wealthy they got, the more hard it was to actually move around with all of this weight of gold. So they decided to invent a thing called a bank. So here's my gold, put it in there, give me a receipt so I can use this receipt to get my gold or some of it whenever I want, as long as it's safe in your bank. Okay then, the banks went, great, thanks, we'll keep that in here and we'll just give you some paper, we'll keep it nice and safe. So more and more people started looking into this and they thought, okay, money, it's backed by gold. That's cool. So theoretically, if the bank issued £100 billion in cash, theoretically they should have £100 billion worth of gold in their bank, nice and safe. Banks, physical money, problem. If you go to buy a car and you go to your bank, you walk in there and say, can I have £10,000 please in cash? I want to go out and buy a car. They'll say no. I say, what do you mean? I've got the money, it's in my account, give me my money. They won't give it to you. Do you know why? Because you haven't got it. Okay? You go to any bank here in the UK, probably in the US and around the world, and their vault is absolutely minimal. Okay? Now, the reason that they tell people this is we don't want our banks getting robbed anymore, and we want to protect our staff. So we don't hold money. It's in a secure location out the way. We can get it as long as you give us notice. So they haven't even got the physical money in the banks anymore. So, and gold has long been bought mostly by China. So the wealth of gold on the planet is all in China somewhere right now. And the Rothschilds have probably got a big lump of it too. So trust me, money's not backed by gold anymore. Okay, so it's literally numbers on the screen. So like I say, I always want to have physical things for myself. Okay, I want to have physical silver on my person, in my house, buried somewhere, whatever it is you want to do. In fact, I recommend that you don't keep it in your house like myself. Keep it somewhere out of the way. Because if someone finds out and he comes round and they hold your wife up at gunpoint and wants all your silver, there's nothing there. They could turn the whole place upside down, it won't be there. Don't keep precious metals or money in your house. Put them somewhere safe out the way, okay? Dig it deep. Don't forget where it is. Don't tell no one. And I mean no one, okay? If you die, that secret goes with you. That's it. End of. It's your money. It's your property. It's your stuff. End of. Keep it simple. So it's really, really weird when you see people and they just say, yeah, I'm okay because I've got loads of money in my bank account. Or they might say, I've got money in different bank accounts. Okay, so what happens when, not if, when cyber attacks start to actually happen? Okay, boom. Banks just get cleaned out because it's digital, okay? It's easier to hack into a bank and take money from it than to physically go around there, hold everyone at a gunpoint and start laser cutting through these big vault doors when there's no money in there anyway. And no one really knows where all the money is hidden. Some people know in the production of money where all these facilities are, but trust me, you'll have a time trying to get money from places like that, okay? So I try and keep everything physical, right? Like I said in previous live streams, barterable items. Now I told Lee about this, and luckily on the day he was going to Costco, and he ended up getting lots of like miniatures of whiskey, vodka, that sort of thing. And he doesn't really drink them himself, I don't think. So he's keeping them as barterable items. And that's a good thing because, you know, when you get like alcohol and it's in a bottle and it's sealed, as long as it's out of sunlight and away from stupid high temperatures and things, it should stay in that bottle pretty good to drink for donkey's years. And I mean a long time. So barterable items, make sure that you get those. Now, before you get them, think of what you're going to get first. Now, I would say to increase your comeback or your profits, as it were, from these items, get things which people are addicted to. All right. So tobacco and alcohol. They're two things that lots of people simply can't do without. Okay. So if you said, if someone said to you, right, what have you got? I can give you this. And you say, yeah, that's fine. And he said, what do you want in return? And I haven't had a fag in a month. Have you got any cigarettes? Yeah, I've got some cigarettes. That person will literally drop to his knees and cry. Okay. Oh my God, someone's got some cigarettes. So you can increase your bargaining power by trading with someone who's got an addiction. Okay. I know it sounds untoward, but at the end of the day, survival is a selfish game and it's dog eat dog. You either get more for your family or you get the minimum that you can get away with. My advice is head high and just get what you can. All right. So, you know, someone who likes to drink who's got no alcohol at all, if he said, I've got this bottle of scotch, they'd be like, oh my God, they'll probably give you double what the going rate for a bottle of scotch is for someone who seriously needs it. Okay. So see if you can get a few of those items. Make sure that you've always got enough food for yourself. Okay. It's all well and good trading food, but what you don't want to do is to trade all of your food and leave yourself short. It's not a good thing. So let's have a look what's going on here. Yeah, apparently Paraguay, they've had a 60% crop cock up over there. So there's lots of places around the planet. And do you remember there was like a volcano that happened a few weeks ago now in the southern hemisphere on the planet? Now, apparently, when that happened, it was seen from space. You've probably seen loads of images all over the internet of this huge, great big explosion, okay, this volcano. Now, what that's done apparently is that sent the yields for all of the crops that are grown on the southern hemisphere, i.e. the equator down to the South Pole, everything in that region, crops aren't doing too well at all. Now, you look at places like Argentina and Paraguay and South America, Africa, you know, they produce a lot of stuff, all right? Now, all of a sudden, the crops that they're producing has diminished big time. So you have got this multi-pronged attack on the planet and the people on it right now. and it's not no bull crap. It's not no conspiracy theory. It's actually happening. All right. So you will see food prices go mental this year. Seriously, if you go to the supermarket on your weekend tomorrow and you get your shopping and you see what's on the shelves, you know, you're not going to find cheaper prices than tomorrow, right? You won't. So my advice is to get as much as you can, as frequently as possible. As I say, you don't want to draw attention and go there and just like, you know, 4 members of a family get a full shopping trolley full up with tins. Okay. All that's going to do is that's going to attract panic and attention, and it's going to make the situation a lot worse. You could see lots of problems happening when that panic buying culture starts to rear its ugly head again, because you do hear about this. And of course, like I said, there's only, I think, 6 families are on the planet that run most of all of the mainstream media outlets. Okay, so when they say there's food shortages, and it's not going to be just one organization, it's going to be probably the same day across the board. Reuters, all the rest of it, AP, Associated Press, they'll all release the same crap on the same day. And, you know, like sheep, lots of people go, oh my God, there's a food shortage. And they're going to run straight to the supermarkets and they're going to start stripping them shelves bare. Okay. So what you don't want to do is put yourself in a situation with all of that going on. Okay. Because when people are desperate, when people are scared, when people are hungry, people do bad things. Okay. Generally, most of the people on the planet are good, kind, loving, beautiful people. Okay. But trust me, those people, when pushed and backed into a corner, when they're desperate, hungry, skint, especially if they've got children and they're suffering, they will do whatever it takes to put food on the table for their family. They will do anything. So when people get desperate, they get really bad. Okay. So I really don't want to see that, but at some point it's going to be happening soon. Don't say that it's just fear mongering and stuff. It's true. Okay. Based on historic events over the years, exactly the same patterns of what's happened, especially like World War One, the stock market crash, you know, the Spanish flu. All of this is an exact repeat. It's just a modern version. The difference was nowadays, unfortunately, we are all globally connected. So every country is solely relying on other countries for certain things. Okay. I've been a huge advocate of sovereign states. So the UK should stay the UK. None of all this Europe nonsense. Okay. The UK, in my opinion, should be able to sustain itself. If you want to look into historical facts, by rights in common law, the Queen should be held for treason because she is not able to feed her subjects. Because she sold everything out, what the government has. She put the government in power. They've done the dirty work. So we're now relying on bloody imports from all over the planet. Okay. So if all food imports stopped at the same time, the food that is currently in this country and what's being produced in the country will not be nowhere near enough to sustain everyone that's living here. That's the problem I've got with globalism. Okay. The same with the US. I remember going on holiday in Italy years ago, and nearly all of the food that they grow in their country stays in their country, and what's extra gets exported. They don't hardly import anything in Italy, food-wise. Okay, yeah, okay, they've got a better climate and they can grow stuff. And if any of you've been to Italy or lived there or been on holiday there, the food's absolutely fantastic because it's all local, it's all fresh, and it's so much different than a Braeburn apple that was grown in New Zealand 9 months ago, which ends up on your supermarket shelf, stays there for a week, goes home, sits on your kitchen table for a week. You know, can you imagine the amount of nutrients and goodness that's in that apple compared to one that was picked yesterday from a local farm? It's a big difference, okay? It's probably one of the reasons why we're seeing lots of people with bad health, because they're eating poor nutrition. And just like Faye said there, grow your own. So some of you remember when I'd done my little mini homestead experiment in the other property where I live down south. That was crazy. I learned loads of stuff from the old timers down the allotments back in 2009, 2010, 2011, and a bit into 2012. So from what I remember, what I learned back then, I brought that into effect when we had the first lockdown, and in my opinion, it's the only lockdown we've ever had. Okay, in 2020, when my mum died on the 9th of March, we started a homestead project. And even though the stuff that I've learned already, I still made a few mistakes. And I said to my partner when we started the project, I said, I don't care if everything fails. The most important thing is we're going to learn a lot from making mistakes. And unfortunately, the best way to learn is to make mistakes. What you don't want to do is to wait till the situation's so dire when food's a big problem and then start a fruit and veg garden, because you're going to be making mistakes at that point where you should be getting high yields because of the experience and the time that you've put in to grow your own food. There you go, deep in the bunker. Permaculture is the future. Very well said. Very good. If any of you do not know what permaculture is, or permaculture, look it up. I've got books on it. It's fantastic. And I myself practice companion planting. Now, if any of you don't know what companion planting is, look it up, get a book. Okay, basically you plant certain flowers, certain plants, certain herbs in and amongst your food. Okay, now what that would do, if you've done it right and you've timed it right and you've practiced, okay, you won't get it right the first time, but you will get there. It will increase your yields massively. It will keep the weeds down a lot small, and it will keep a lot of pests at bay. So theoretically, hey Sonny, good to see you, darling. Hope it's all going well. Love you out there. That's cool to see you. Seriously is. So yeah, you really need to look into permaculture and companion planting. All right. You still might need netting for brassicas. Okay, I haven't managed to companion plant successfully without netting because the cabbage white butterfly when I was down south was prolific. And slugs. Apparently up here in Wales, there's not that many slugs. My partner's seen 3 in the last 2 months. So if I was down south right now, we'd have seen like 3,000, and I'm not exaggerating. I used to go out at night time with a torch, and you'd see hordes of them going from one side of the garden to the other, and it was scary to see it. Or, oh my days, it was horrible. It looked like some old 50s sci-fi film. So yeah, growing your own food is definitely 100% a serious thing to consider. Okay, even if you haven't got the space. Okay, there's, like my saying, there's always a way. Okay, even if you grow a tiny little bit in your windowsills, like tomatoes and garlic and things like this. Okay, even if it's a small amount, it's good because it's going to teach you things. Okay, you're going to learn. All right, which is always really important. If you can produce your own food successfully, and you can store it, you can can it, you can come over to Wales and you can freeze dry it at the facility we was talking about earlier. It will last for years. It will really save you an absolute fortune because, let's face it, it's not just diesel that's going up, it's energy as well. Now, the weird thing is, in the small cottage, and it is a very small cottage where we live, up on that mountain here in Wales, our electricity bill is £22 a month. Insane. But we're very careful how we use our electricity, okay? We had a colleague who works here doing the chippy stuff. He said, I said to him, have you got loads of food at home? He said, no, so about 3 days. I said, you're joking? He said, you've got no food? Nothing. He said, no. I said, bloody hell. I said, everything's going to get really expensive, you know. He said, don't be surprised if you see loaves of bread £2, £3 each this year. And he goes, yeah, I know, I don't know what I'm going to do. Our electricity bill is already £300 a month. £300 a month just for electric. Say what? Man, there's a lot of people out there who are seriously going to suffer this year and next year, big time. There's lots of people out there who are asleep and they don't see what's happening. They don't know what to do. They haven't been preparing. They've been wasting time. They've been wasting money for no fault of their own. Like I said, I was that guy a long time ago, okay? Luckily for me, I woke up, smelt the bullshit and done something about it. But unfortunately, a lot of people are still asleep and you could waste a lot of time and energy trying to wake them up. Trust me, I've tried. I've given up now. I've resorted to planting seeds. Planting seeds is great. I do it, especially when I'm shopping and I'm chatting to the girl or the bloke on the checkout when he's putting my food through and I'm bagging it up. I'll just drop a few little things. Oh, it might not be such a bad idea to get some food at home out of the way, because when the food prices go up, because it looks like it's going crazy out there, they say you're not going to have anything in your house. Oh, it's not a bad idea. Just a little thing like that, and leave it. Don't talk about anything else, and just different things to different people. Just putting that seed in their head. Sometimes when they're sat at home watching Castration Street, and they start zoning out, and I think, you know what, that guy in the shop today, when he said about putting some more food, do you know what, John, that might not be such a bad idea. You know, little seeds. And, you know, that's how people start to get woken up, because when they start looking into, I would say, preparing and just keeping extra food. I don't like the term stockpiling, because that's what the mainstream use to discredit people who, like us, think ahead and do what we want to do to help our families. Okay, so stockpiling, bad word, don't use it. So yeah, try and do things like that, but definitely food's going to be a big issue this year. So I'm waffling. All I want to do is I want to see what you guys are talking to. Here we go. UK prepper man Chris. Hi dude. Energy bills will go up by 50% from April, with another 25 to 50% increase in October. So there you go. I did hear that as well. Ofcom, I mean, that's just a big joke, really. They've got no interest in our benefits whatsoever. So energy bills going up in April. It's only next month. So, like I said, if you've got loads of savings in the bank, I would start dipping into it, spreading it around, get cash out, hide some cash away, get some silver, get extra food, look into your property where you can store this food. Okay, keep it away from windows. Don't put it in the loft. Don't put food in the loft. It's not too bad in the winter months, but when it starts getting warm, whatever food you got in the loft, it's going to perish. It's going to spoil. It's going to ruin. So please don't put food in your loft or in your shed. Anywhere it's going to get hot, don't do it. I just went for a Blue Yeti only 3 kilowatt-hour battery. Excuse me. Do you know what I was thinking? Because we've had like 4 power cuts since we've moved there in October last year. I should have had some water. I'm all dry now. But I was thinking about a generator. And I thought, well, the price of fuel going up, it might be an idea to get an electric one, like a big battery. So, excuse me, I might look into getting some sort of battery generator soon, because when power cut season comes around next winter, I don't want to be struggling. I want the water pump to work so we can heat our house, so keep the fridge freezer going, that sort of thing. What's this, mate? Tell them to go to your Reiki master. Hi, Kat. I'm not talking about that one here. I'm surprised I even said that, you know. But yeah, Reiki definitely opened my third eye. But I'm not saying no more. Chris Doherty, council house, can't have chickens because neighbours will grass. I lived in a council house. I had chickens, but yeah, at some point when it starts getting, they will. So but some people have chickens on allotments. Just make sure that you really make it fox-proof, okay? Do what I done. Just put great big council 2-foot square heavy-duty slabs all the way around the outside perimeter of your run and your coop, and make sure that nothing's going to be able to eat through it. So you want a heavy-duty cage it. Don't get that flimsy chicken mesh. It's rubbish. Get that thick 1 or 2 mil solid steel. I don't know. It's about 10-15 centimeters square. Loads of that, okay, and good solid wood as well. You want wood that's going to last. You're in the US. It cost me about $500 a day. Is bill up my I don't know what that means. Probably some chat. All right. Anything that creates heat, they'll tax it. Do you know what? Yeah, that's a good point. I've been an advocate for years about paraffin. Okay, I've got loads of paraffin. I've got paraffin heaters, paraffin lamps. Okay, and we've got gas bottles too. Like I said, with all of your prep, try and hedge it. Spread your bets. Okay, don't just rely on one thing. Don't forget the old prepper rule: 1 is none. 2 is 1 and 1 is none. That's what they say, and it's very true, because if you just got one thing and it fails, you've got nothing. If you've got two and one fails, you still got a fighting chance. So in our property, we've got a big wood burner back boiler. Okay, so what that is, if you don't know, at the top of the wood burner, inside it, between two pieces of plate metal, is pipes, and the pipes have water in. That water heats up, it gets pumped around the house with a pump, and we have radiators, and the radiators get nice and hot, and it heats our home. So we've got a lovely fire to look at. We get warmth radiating from the fire as well, and we've got the radiators. That's awesome. But when the electric goes, the pump doesn't work. And when the pump doesn't work, it doesn't pump the hot water around the system. Okay? So, okay, right, turn the hot taps on, let some of the hot water out, get some of the pressure out of that tank, open the doors, have the fire on really small, so you've got warmth from the front of the fire. Okay, you're conserving your logs because they're going to go up as well because they're delivered with diesel vehicles. So expect firewood to go up if you don't do it yourself. A backup you've got for that is gas bottles. I recommend 15 kilo blue gas bottles, and the old-fashioned heaters that you just put them inside. You've got the orange hose you connect up with an adapter. You turn it on, pilot light, like that, and you've got like loads of heat bursting out of those things. I think in total we've got we've got two big ones, and I think we've got three small ones. Okay, and also we've got the small 7.5 kilo gas bottles. So get lots of gas bottles, lots of gas heaters, a wood burner if you've got time and money to get one installed. Don't rely on mains gas, because if you've got a gas central heating, you're going to be pigeonholed in the same bracket, like I said earlier, as diesel car drivers. You're all going to be an enemy of the planet because you're ruining it. Okay, and before they start that, they're going to put the prices up. So expect gas prices to go up. Like my friend Chris just said, in April next month, the gas price is going to go up. And of course, October, which is just on the foot of winter, they're going to put the prices up again. So they're going to do everything like they always do. They make it hard for everyone in the winter. And when summertime comes, they take the foot off the gas. And just like that, COVID was gone. How true is that, eh? Wicked. All restrictions in Wales are being lifted. England's been lifted. You know, all of a sudden, you know, that terrible disease where millions of bodies were piling up outside hospitals and everyone was dropping dead everywhere, all of a sudden just stopped. Insane. Everyone, look at what's going on in Ukraine now. Okay, forget about COVID. Let's look at that. Honestly, you're getting played if you don't understand already, all right? So, yeah, gas, paraffin, wood burner, good alternative ways to heat your home. Okay, if you've only got one heating source, seriously, go on eBay, get some paraffin heaters, go on eBay and buy paraffin in like 20-litre drums like I do, or you can go down B&Q and get the little 5-litre ones. It'll probably be more expensive, so work out what the cheapest prices are and then get what you can. Store them outside of your house. Okay, so if there's a fire and explosion, it's not going to take your house out. If you've got an outbuilding, a shed at the bottom of the garden or somewhere like that, make sure it's out of heat. Okay, so if it's in a shady spot, that's favourable. Don't store stuff in a shed that's in full sun, because it will get hot in there and it could be dangerous, especially if you have a big heat wave. All right, so finding ways to heat your home is very, very important. Okay, all I want to do is pass on the stuff that I've learned over the years, because I've bought myself time by, like I said, turning off the telly so I can research and look into this stuff. Oh, look at the time. We've got 2 minutes before the live stream is going to end, everybody. So I'd like to thank everyone that's turned up to the chat. I'd like to thank everyone to leaving their comments, and I'll try and get through them when I watch the replay and when I've got some internet connection. Also, good news before I go, I'm looking next week and the week after of actually getting the internet at my cottage. So when that happens, not if, but when that happens and it's good enough, I will be doing more regular content. The biggest problem that upsets me the most is lots of people send me messages on social media. Sometimes I can read them, sometimes I can't. To reply to them, as there's not enough signal strength to reply to. So I'm not being rude, I'm not ignoring people, I'm still here. I've just got really crap internet. So I really do apologise, but that's the truth and that's the situation I'm in. Until I get some money next week, which I've been promised, it should be enough for me to buy the internet. So that's going to be awesome. So once again, thanks to the moderators who have kept this a nice, friendly, peaceful place to chat without being insulted and forcing opinions on each other. And thanks to everyone who's kindly donated. It's absolutely beautiful. I seriously do appreciate it. I really do. And you don't have to, but it really helps. So thanks ever so much for everyone who's joined the chat. I hope you've had a good show. And I hope you've found some new contacts in the chat as well. Lots of people come along and they meet people here in the chat. And they exchange details. They find more secure places to talk. They get to know each other. They find a place in public to meet up. They spend some time. And hopefully, over time, trust develops, friendships are born, communities stem, and we can try and grow our own communities from everyone gathering here. So that's wicked. It's seriously bloody awesome. So I salute all of you that's come along and taken the time to watch this. Even though there's some weird rugby match going on. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay funky.